a fishing boat deep in the ocean holds and a massive catch. But something feels off. The net is heavier than usual, and the fishermen can tell right away that something strange is inside. When they slice it open, they're stunned to see a massive fin thrashing among the fish. Panic sets in as they try to take the creature down, but its waiter stand aggressive. It lashes out and injures one of the crew, Chris. In a desperate move, the men band together and somehow manage to force the creature below deck, slamming the door shut behind it. Left with no other choice, the captain, Sean, makes a frantic call to the military. They arrive in no time, locking the creature into a special container and flying it out in a helicopter along with the wounded fisherman. Back in the peaceful coastal town of Bristol Cove, a very different scene is unfolding. The townspeople are joyfully celebrating an old legend about one of their founders falling in love with a real-life mermaid. After the colorful parade winds down, Ben, a marine biologist and descendant of that founder, is having drinks at a local bar. Suddenly, Sean walks in with his son Xander and their friend Calvin. Though they won't say much, they point toward a statue of a mermaid. And that's when things start to feel truly bizarre. Ben instantly picks up on what they're trying to say, but he brushes it off. He just can't believe it. ... Mermaids. No way. Despite their fear and determination, even showing him shocking footage of the creature attacking, Ben stays firm. He's sure there has to be a logical explanation, anything but a mermaid. Meanwhile, at a secure military base, Admiral Harrison is being debriefed on the bizarre catch, but nothing could have prepared him for what he sees next. The creature looks straight out of a myth's scaly skin, a long tail, piercing eyes. She's clearly not human, yet her face, hands, and upper body appear eerily human-like. It's unbelievable. The next morning, Ben, his girlfriend Maddie, who's also a marine biologist, stand. A few of their friends are relaxing at a park. Suddenly, they spot a torn-up fish floating in the water. Shocked, Ben and Maddie rush it back to their lab and discover something disturbing. The bite marks don't match any known sea creature. Later that day, as Ben drives home listening to the radio, the unthinkable happens. Out of nowhere, a naked woman appears right in front of his truck. He slams on the brakes just in time. She tries to flee but stumbles clumsily before collapsing. With no idea who she is or where she came from, Ben scoops her up and takes her home in his truck. Something feels very wrong. Ben gently hands the mysterious woman some clothes and prepares a warm meal for her, but her reaction is far from normal. She stares around the room in total confusion, as if she's never seen anything like it. She glances down at the clothes on her body in disbelief, then grabs the food and sniffs it cautiously, like a wild animal trying to figure out if it's safe. When Ben tries to speak to her, she stays silent, but then begins to hum a soft, strange tune, and that haunting melody won't leave his head. Later, just as Ben opens a door for the local Dr. Abbott, the woman slips out the window without a sound and vanishes into the night. She ends up spending the night inside an old, abandoned boat. In the morning, with no one around, she snatches up a playful mouse and eats it raw. Her instincts are clearly not human. After that, she sneaks through the neighborhood and steals more clothes to blend in. Soon as she begins walking through the town, still dazed but curious. Along the way, she runs into a mysterious woman named Helen, who claims to sell authentic mermaid artifacts. But when Helen locks eyes with the girl, she freezes. It's as if she knows her. Before Helen can say anything, the girl walks away without a word. Meanwhile, Ben can't shake the eerie melody from his mind. It's driving him crazy. He heads into town to find her. He catches a glimpse of her speaking to Helen, but by the time he jumps out of his car, she's already gone. He rushes to ask Helen about the girl, but Helen, visibly shaken, avoids answering and walks off, clearly terrified. Later, the girl makes her way to the bay and stumbles upon the same fishing boat that had captured the mermaid the night before. As she stares at it, a painful memory hits her. She remembers the exact moment her friend was trapped while they were out hunting for food. The truth becomes clear. This girl is also a mermaid, and the captured one was her closest companion. The following day, she finds a pair of worn boots and wanders into a quiet neighborhood. There, she spots a young boy watching a TV show about a mermaid named Ren. For the first time, she speaks softly, calling herself Ren. From that moment on, it becomes her name. Soon after, Ren notices a toy helicopter and instantly recognizes it. It looks exactly like the machine that took her friend. She rushes up to a stranger, showing him the toy and pointing at it urgently. The man offers her a ride, pretending to help. But instead of kindness, he drives her to a remote area and tries to get physical with her. Enraged and terrified, Ren reacts with terrifying strength. She smashes his head with her bare hands, killing him on the spot. She stumbles out of the car, blood soaking her jacket, but something's wrong. Her skin is drying out fast. She's been out of water too long. Desperate, Ren heads toward the research facility where Ben and Maddie work. She spots Maddie inside, giving a lively tour to a group of school kids, showing them wildlife displays. Maddie offers the kids some fish food, but they make faces and turn it down. Ren, hiding and starving, gulps down the fish food the second the room clears. Afterward, Maddie introduces the kids to a group of friendly seals, but the moment they spot Ren from a distance, The seals go wild, growling, thrashing, trying to flee. Maddie is stunned by their strange behavior and quickly escorts the kids away. At that moment, Ben arrives at the facility, and finally sees Ren standing there. Ben gently assures Ren that he's not here to hurt her, he just wants to help. But as he looks closer, he sees something alarming. Her skin is dry and peeling, revealing scale-like patches underneath. Before Maddie leaves, Ben introduces her to Ren. But the tension is obvious. That night, Ben steps away to make a quick call to Dr. Abbott. But things take a terrifying turn. Ren's condition rapidly worsens. Her skin cracks and flakes apart, scaly patches spreading across her arms and legs. The pain becomes unbearable. In desperation, Ren stumbles toward the seal's pool and dives straight in. The moment she's underwater, her body begins to shift violently. Her sharp teeth extend, fins sprout from her back, and her legs twist and fuse into a massive, powerful tail. Her full mermaid form is revealed in seconds. Ben returns to an empty room. Ren is gone. He checks the security monitor and gasps when he spots her in the seal's pool. Thinking she might be drowning, he dives in to rescue her. But underwater, he's hit with a shocking truth. Ren isn't human. Suddenly she turns and attacks him, sinking her teeth into his flesh. Ben fights back with sheer instinct, grabbing a metal bar from the pool's edge and swinging it to escape. He scrambles out of the water and collapses, unconscious. Moments later, Abbott discovers his body and rushes to help. That night, Ben can't shake the tension from his mind, so he heads to Miss Hawkins' artifact shop, desperate for answers. He asks her if the legends about mermaids are true, if they really exist. Without hesitation, Miss Hawkins confirms that mermaids are real. She explains that when they're in water, their primal instincts take over. They hunt and they kill to survive. Then she drops a bombshell. Ben's own ancestors never understood these creatures. Instead, they feared them and led a brutal genocide against the mermaids. Shaken to his core, Ben spends the entire night poring over ancient records, digging into the horrifying past of his family and everything he can learn about mermaids. The truth is darker than he ever imagined. The next morning, Sheriff Dale, who also happens to be Maddie's father, gets word of a murder. A man was found dead, and the details are strange. Dale heads out to investigate. At the same time, Ben joins up with Sean Zander and the other fishermen. They're on a mission to track down another mermaid. Ren suddenly clutches her head. Overwhelmed, the sound is a mermaid distress signal, and it's triggering something deep inside her. At the same time, inside the military research center, Ren's captured friend is also writhing in pain. Scientists have been cruelly extracting too many samples from her spine. As Ren rushes into the room, Ben quickly shuts off the device, and that's when it hits them all. Ren, Ice, and T just looking for a friend. She's searching for her sister. Meanwhile, Sheriff Dale is deep into the murder investigation. One detail keeps bothering him: the killer had inhuman strength. As he digs further, he starts hearing whispers around town about a mysterious girl no one seems to know, wandering aimlessly, yet unforgettable. That night, Dale heads home and brings the case up with Maddie and Ben. The moment they hear the details, their expressions change. They know it was Ren. The signs are too clear to ignore. Elsewhere, Ren is inside Helen's home, going through old belongings. She stumbles upon torn pages from a hidden book, horrifying illustrations and stories about how humans once tortured and slaughtered mermaids. Rage and fear swirl inside her. Nearby, she finds a gleaming dagger. Something dark is stirring inside her. Back at the research facility, Chris finally wakes up. Still weak, he spots a nurse's phone and secretly sends an SOS. Just as Calvin is spending time with his girlfriend, Xander barges in and shares the shocking message. Without hesitation, he loops Ben in. They need to act fast. Meanwhile, Maddie talks to Helen about the dead body found in town. Helen immediately connects the dots and confesses that Ren may have left the house with a dagger the night before. Alarmed, Ben and Maddie confront Ren about the killing, but she snaps. With one violent move, she hurls Maddie several feet across the room. Ben rushes in, trying to calm her down. He pleads with Ren not to harm anyone, reminding her that she is far stronger than any human and needs to stay in control. Helen steps in with a chilling warning: Ren should never be left alone. If the world finds out what she is, it'll be chaos. She reminds them, history has already shown what happens when humans and mermaids collide, and it never ends well. Next, Xander and Calvin trace the SOS message all the way back to the nurse's phone. They tail her discreetly, determined to find out where she's hiding. Chris, meanwhile, Sheriff Dale makes a big discovery. He finds a bloodstained jacket discarded in an alley. It matches the description of the one Ren stole on the day of the murder. He shows it to its original owner, who instantly recognizes it. The owner heads straight to the station and helps Dale create a sketch of the mysterious girl, and S identity is starting to unravel. Over at the military research lab, a scientist named Alden begins an unauthorized experiment. He injects a sample of the mermaid's DNA into a paralyzed rat, and what happens next leaves him speechless. By morning, the rat is not only alive but fully healed. Alden stares at the cage in disbelief. He's just unlocked a scientific miracle that others only dream of. Meanwhile, Ben and Maddie spend more time observing Ren, trying to understand her better. Ren opens up, explaining that she's at her strongest in water and she's not alone. There are others like her. She even solves complex puzzles with ease and smashes every physical test they throw at her. Her intelligence and strength go far beyond human limits. At the same time, Xander and Calvin continue following the nurse and finally track her to the military lab. They realize both Chris and the captured mermaid are being held there. Back at the facility, Ben and Maddie briefly step away to meet Xander and discuss their findings. But when they return, panic sets in. Rin is gone. Worse still, they know she's already showing signs of dehydration. Her skin is scaling, and she's weakening fast. Suddenly their phones buzz with a message from their co-worker. Jerry the text sends a chill down their spines. He's taken Ren to a party inside the military lab. Alden urgently warns the Admiral that the constant sampling is pushing the Mermaid's body to the brink. She's suffering, and it's getting worse, but the Admiral coldly brushes it off. He refuses to slow down the experiments after all. The progress they're making is groundbreaking, and he's not about to lose momentum. Meanwhile, Ben and Maddie race to the party after Jerry's text. When they spot Ren, their hearts drop. She's clearly had too much to drink and, in a clumsy moment, topples into the swimming pool. Ben and Maddie freeze, horrified. Is she about to transform right in front of everyone? But nothing happens. To their immense relief, Ren stays in human form. No tail, no scales, just a tipsy girl splashing in the water as others casually join her. But the chaos doesn't end there. Moments later, flashing lights flood the scene. The police arrive and shut the party down. Sheriff Dale pulls Ben aside and shows him a sketch of Ren. "Have you seen this girl?" he asks. Ben keeps his cool and lies. "No." But Maddie moves quickly, sneaking Ren away and hiding her at the house. She warns Ren that the police are dangerous and getting closer. Later, Maddie questions Ren why didn't she change in the pool. Ren explains that it's because the water wasn't from the ocean. Only salt water triggers her transformation. Then she quietly confesses something painful. The man she killed tried to hurt her. That's why she's afraid of humans, and hopefully rescue their injured friend. After what feels like hours out at sea, something stirs in the water. Sean raises his weapon, ready to fire, but Ben leaps in and stops him, warning that they could be about to hurt something or someone that don't understand. Sean and Xander erupt with frustration, convinced Ben just ruined their only shot. Then, out of nowhere, eerie sounds rise from beneath the boat. Intrigued, Ben dives in to investigate. What he finds shocks everyone. A strange device that mimics mermaid sounds. He brings it up, and they quickly realize it's no ordinary gadget. It's high-tech, equipped with a camera and a tracker. Someone planted it on purpose, and they're clearly watching everything. At sunrise, Ren sheds her mermaid tail and finds shelter beneath a tree for the night. As morning unfolds, she begins aimlessly wandering through the town until she runs into Helen again. This time, Ren speaks clearly. She's searching for her missing friend. Meanwhile, Ben finally confesses everything to Maddie. He shows her the shocking footage of Ren attacking him underwater. Without that video, Maddie never would have believed him. It's just as surreal. At the same time, Xander delivers the mysterious device to their tech-savvy friend, Calvin, asking him to figure out what exactly they've stumbled upon. Later, Helen, now more convinced than ever that Ren is not human, heads out to buy proper food for her. She's noticed Ren struggling to eat normal human meals, and clearly, she needs something else. That same afternoon, Ben has a tense conversation with his father, Ted, about their family's history. But Ted laughs it all off, calling the mermaid stories pure fantasy. He even suggests their founding ancestor, Charles, may have suffered from schizophrenia, explaining away the bizarre tale. In the meantime, Xander returns to Calvin S.'s place to check in, only to be stunned when Calvin tells him the device is missing. What he doesn't know is that Ben secretly took it. Ben brings the machine straight to Helen, who has just returned with Ren's special food. But the moment Ben turns the device on, disaster strikes. A strange, high-pitched noise fills the room, and why she struggles to trust anyone. Meanwhile, Xander and Calvin head back from the military lab and stake out the nurse's house. They're not leaving until she talks. They need answers about Chris. Back at the lab, the Admiral confronts Alden after discovering Ben had stolen the tracking device. He demands answers, but Alden's perspective is shifting. He's starting to feel sympathy for the mermaid. She looks weak, fragile, but what he doesn't realize is chilling. She's only pretending to be helpless. The very next day, the mermaid seizes her chance. While the lab is distracted, she escapes, slipping into the nurse's clothes to blend in and avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, Chris, in guard but alert, senses danger brewing. He escapes from his hospital bed, limping through the hallway, and that's when he sees her. The wounded mermaid. Despite her strange appearance, Chris believes she's a fellow prisoner, and without hesitation, he decides to help her. Together, they sneak out of the building under cover of night. In the parking lot, they spot the nurse's car and make a break for it. Chris grabs the keys, jumps in with the mermaid, and they speed off into the darkness. By morning, Alden walks into the facility and is horrified by the destruction left behind. The mermaid didn't just escape, she tore through security systems and left the lab in chaos. Meanwhile, Ben gets an urgent call from Xander and heads out with Maddie. At the same time, Ren is receiving care from Helen, who finally reveals her deepest secret: she's a mermaid too. She shows Ren the shimmering, scaly patch on her leg. Now it all makes sense, Helen's knowledge. Her warning, she's lived it. Later that day, Ben, Maddie, Xander, and Calvin make their way to the nurse's house. But just as they arrive, they spot strange men entering the property. The group quickly hides, peeking through the bushes. They watch silently as the men take all of the nurse's equipment. It's a chilling sight. Something bad has clearly happened to her. Meanwhile, Ren, feeling guilty, breaks down in front of Helen. She confesses it was her fault. She was the one who dragged her sister closer to the surface, and now she's missing. Time is running out. As her body weakens and her skin cracks with dehydration, Ben and Maddie realize the truth. They have to get Ren back to the ocean, fast. At the same time, Chris and the mermaid are in serious trouble. Chris can barely stand, his injuries are getting worse. The mermaid is drying out fast, desperate for water. They don't speak the same language, but one thing is clear: they're in this together. With danger closing in, they know they have to trust each other, because they share a common enemy. Eventually they reach a spot with a phone signal. Chris wastes no time. He calls Xander and Calvin, his voice shaky, pleading with them to come quickly. "I'm hurt bad," he tells them. Meanwhile, back in town, Ben and Maddie give Ren a location tracker to monitor her movements. Just then, a message from Xander comes through: Chris has been found. Ben, Maddie, and Ren rush to the location without hesitation. They arrive to find Chris barely conscious, clinging to life. From a distance, Ren spots someone in the shadows. Her eyes light up as she runs toward, her emotions overflowing. Ben helps Chris into the car with Xander and Calvin. The two are overjoyed to see their friend alive, but Chris refuses to go to the hospital. No hospitals, he insists. Ben suggests taking him to Dr. Abbott instead, and without wasting a second, they speed off to get him help. Meanwhile, Ren finally reunites with her friend after the terrifying night they were separated. The two mermaids embrace tightly, their bond stronger than ever. Maddie watches quietly, touched by the scene, and Ben joins her at her side. Together, they witness something truly beautiful. Ren's friend carries her into the ocean, and the two mermaids dive beneath the waves, swimming free at last. From the shore, Ben and Maddie watch in it, realizing the truth. Ren and her friend aren't just allies, they're sisters. The end.